Welcome again to another very exciting episode of Outsourcing Safari. And with me today is Paige Webster. Welcome on the podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Great day.
Yes.
So exciting to be in Kenya.
Yes. And thank you for coming to Kenya.
Yes.
This being your second time, I'm sure you'll have quite a bit to share with our viewers about what you think about Kenya as a site, as a location for BPO.
Yeah.
Today we spent part of our morning, looking out for the big five. And to begin this discussion, I'd like, if Paige, if you don't mind, you could share with us what are the big five when it comes to outsourcing to Kenya.
Well, typically it's labor cost, and then you look at availability of labor, you look at quality of labor, quantity of labor. So I keep relating to labor. But then there's some other few things that you need to look at. You want to look at, if there's heating facilities on the premises, how the layout of the site actually looks from the standpoint of functionality. And I would say that typically you also want to look at the cost of doing business in a country. It's important to understand that. And then something that you can't really analyze, you can't really put a hard number on, but it's quality of life.
Yes, and thank you for that. Something you've mentioned throughout your visit is the quality of the English in this country.
Yes.
And what's your take on that? And I know on paper they talk about proficiency, but it's another thing when you experience it firsthand in the country.
Yes. So I would say that you're probably A to A plus as far as the scale. Obviously, you're a British colony, and so the citizens have been trained and taught English, and so that puts you right at the top of the list.
Great. And having been in the country for the last 1 week, what did you think about the infrastructure in the country?
The infrastructure is good. Notice that the roads are good. Access to to utilities, to telecommunications. Every center that I've been to, there has not been any problems. Redundancy doesn't seem like there's a problem. I think Kenya's doing great.
Fantastic. So in your honest opinion, where would you put Kenya when it comes to the next big place for global business services?
Oh, I would probably put it up in the top 3.
Fantastic.
Yes.
And when
it's 209 countries, so that's definitely pretty high.
That's a good number.
Yeah.
We'll take the number 3 position, and we're happy to move to number 1 position.
Sure.
Anything you think Kenya could do better when it comes to outsourcing? I know everyone wants to talk about all the good stuff, but sometimes it's good to just be honest about what could be some of the bottlenecks that you could experience in our country.
I would say that I don't see really any. The airports are great. It seems like transportation for employees is good. I would just say that probably the number 1 thing going to Kenya is availability of workforce.
Yes.
And over the last 2 days, it's just been absolutely. It's hard to comprehend when you're from the Western Hemisphere of the availability of workers. I think we were told for 200 seats there was 10,000 applications.
Yes, and the number repeats itself across, in all the BPOs. And I think one of the things you might have experienced is Kenya is still a very much emerging region, and therefore still very open for the bigger players to come in.
Yes.
What would you tell a big BPO looking out for a location across the different continents?
Oh, across the continent? Well, the larger BPOs are starting to penetrate.
Yes, they are.
I think, again, that Africa is an untapped market as a whole continent. So whether you're in South Africa or you're in Morocco or Egypt and finally in Kenya, and there's some new markets that are starting to open up as well, Zambia, Zimbabwe. But I think that everybody should really look at Africa as a place to do business. From a standpoint of the workforce, highly educated, working in a capacity where they're actually underemployed. So I think it's a great place to have it start with a BPO. I'm here also looking for manufacturing, so I think it's the new market that's opening for the world.
And we could toot our own horn, but your experience on the government side, how do you feel about this sector?
So we met with Invest and very proactive. They're working on some policies to help enhance the BPO industry as well as other industries. But our meeting was specifically for the BPO industry. And with you being, the chairwoman of the association, which I didn't mention, that's crucial to have a BPO association within the country. So I think that gives you a leg up from the standpoint of some of the other countries in Africa. I think you're developed really well in Africa. The one thing I would say is you need to get the word out more. Keep educating more BPOs of what of what doing business in Kenya, and then of course we've got this beautiful quality of life behind us.
Yes, indeed. We have this amazing clean air, beautiful backgrounds. We don't need AI for that.
No,
we have,
but you do have that capacity.
We do. We have a lot of capacity. What is the average buyer in the US thinking? I mean, first time when you say Africa to them,
they don't know it. So that's why I'm here. I'm not on a business mission. I'm looking at different countries. You can only, there's 52 countries. It takes a little bit of time, but they're relying on the site selector to truly understand what's really happening. We're the scouts for the BPOs or the customer service industry CX. But what I've seen is, again, AI and telecommunications,
retail,
well, more of the technical.
Goods. Yes.
I was shocked seeing what you were doing in your facility. It's amazing, and I know there's a few more things that are coming down, and some big players, which is really good. And congratulations on that.
Yes, thank you for that. We do get the opportunity to work with the big players, and they are so far happy. And I think the beauty of working in an unsaturated market is you get so much of our attention. The quality is always outstanding, and that's the beauty of being a fast mover in the continent, and in Kenya in particular, is that as much as there'll be challenges, you could hear it from other BPO owners that there's eagerness to work.
Correct.
And therefore, once they get you on board, it is not a client that they want to lose, and therefore you're assured of the best service to the limit, I guess.
The other thing I'd like to say, Rosalind, is that you can start a BPO here in Africa too, and I think you have good support not only from the government but from the association and other BPOs that are already acclimated to the country. So it's a entrepreneurship wise in the BPO industry is a good start as well. So you have all levels. You've got startup BPOs, you've got middle-sized BPOs, and then you have the very large BPOs.
Yes, and I guess that's how an ecosystem gets built ultimately. Great. Any parting shots before we move to our next country? Viewers, look out for our next podcast. It will not be in Nairobi. It will not be at a waterfall, but I guarantee you, you'll have a beautiful time when you join us as we explore more of the continent. Parting shots, Mr. Paige?
Just thank you for the opportunity, the time here, and I'll definitely be back and we'll have some clients here. So thank you so much, Rosemary.
You're very welcome.